welcome to the Congo Hour. Thank you so much for joining Waynna and I this evening. My name is Trippi. Along with my co-host Waynna, we have 3 guests.
Oh yeah, we
tonight.
do.
Yeah, we have the return of Mariah's moment.
What's she gonna talk about?
On the way here, I was like, you know what she's gonna talk about? She said, yeah, I have a whole list. So our intro can't be.
It's not a moment anymore.
No, it's not a moment. It's like a marathon. She said she's gonna talk about Spelman. She's gonna talk about mortuary school. She's gonna talk about her school. She's gonna talk about graduation. She's gonna talk about a lot of things. She said she wrote a whole list this morning.
Oh, okay.
Of things she wants to talk about. We
Very
have
good.
brother Dwight Davis.
Yes.
Who is just extremely knowledgeable about how the city is supposed to take care of its residents, and how city council and how city government just is supposed to work as a whole. Not only the city government, but just how organizations are supposed to give back to our community. And I just invited him down here just to talk to him.
Okay.
There's no real agenda. He
chat.
might have something that he wants to talk about, but I didn't even ask him to come down with an agenda. I just wanted us to be able to talk and just kind of enlighten me, enlighten us, and enlighten the community about things that he knows that that we deserve as a community, as a city of Wilmington.
He's definitely been an advocate for as long as I was probably alive.
Forever. I just remember him always coming to council meetings and just being so sharp, so on point. He doesn't come as much anymore, but he is still just as sharp and as involved as ever. So I'm looking forward to that conversation.
Good. And then I'm excited that we have Ray Fitzgerald, who is the executive director of the Wilmington Housing Authority.
Okay.
And he's going to come and talk about a new program that started called the Wellness Checker program. So really excited about that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a lot going on, so we can't, I guess we can talk a little bit about the last couple of weeks in your life and my life.
Right, because I don't have the teleprompter, so there are some things that I had for us to talk about.
All right.
And I did them in date order, just milestones in our families' lives.
Okay.
And they're going to be showing pictures because I chose pictures for each of the things we're talking about. So my granddaughter Anaya went to her senior prom on April the 28th. And then it was Morgan's birthday, May the 11th, and her prom, and Michaela's prom. So we have pictures of that.
Okay.
And then we celebrated my birthday, May 23rd. We had a great time. Thank you so much for coming.
Of course. I didn't want to, but I was tired. I was like, I mean, it's not that I didn't want to. I was just tired. And I was like, there's no way I can miss this because I never hear the end of it. She's going to come on TV and try to blast me. So I was like, let me get up. But it's always fun being around family and friends.
Yeah, and shout out to Justin at Oath 84. Food was absolutely delicious.
You got to stop by Oath 84 on, between 4th and 5th on King Street.
Yes.
Black-owned restaurant, young guy that owns it. The food is amazing.
Yes.
The atmosphere is just very, very chic.
Yes.
It's a great place. The service is awesome. So definitely stop by Oath 84. We got to have Justin on here.
Okay, I'll make that happen.
What else?
That was all I had.
Is it? Okay, so did we talk about Max? I don't think we talked about Max graduating from Dell State. Yeah, Max graduated from Dell State. 3 generations, my father, me, and now Max. We all graduated from Delaware State University, so that was a very proud moment. Morgan just graduated last week from St. George's, and she is on her way to Spelman down in Atlanta. I think that's one of the things that Mariah said she wants to talk about.
But she's also going to do a program this summer.
She is. She's going to Guatemala.
Yes.
Again, shout out to Dr. Joan Coker, who is just incredible and just has constantly just reached back and helped Morgan and dozens, if not hundreds probably definitely hundreds of others along the way. And she's going to take them on an experience where they're going to go to Guatemala and she'll be a part of some operations, some surgeries that they're going to be a part of. So that's what it is. She's really looking forward to it. So that's going to be, we'll have to have Morgan come on and talk about that experience when she comes back.
All right, sounds good.
Then we have our funeral announcements.
Yes.
We have some birthday shout outs. And do we have any community news?
I don't have any birthday shout outs, but I have community news.
Okay, all right, I have a couple that will.
You have some birthday shout outs? Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that towards the end. All right, so we're going to take a really quick break and we'll be right back with our first guest.
has been Delaware's premium provider of creative digital and broadcasting solutions that bridges communities and connects people. We create great stories for all audiences. We deliver independent news throughout Delaware. We are digital platform innovators. And we develop marketing and sales solutions so you can stay connected to your audience. Now, why do we do what we do here on DETV? We do it because we care. So, keep watching and follow us on all of our social media platforms. Remember, DETV, online, on air, on time.
Good evening and welcome back to the Congo Hour. I hope that you have enjoyed the show so far. Well, we didn't really do anything so far, have we?
Not really, just kind of give the preview about who's coming on.
Right,
And some small recaps about our lives.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about our first guest this evening. It is Ray Fitzgerald from the Wilmington Housing Authority. He is the executive director, and I love the Wellness Checker program. When I saw it announced in the paper, I got really excited. Said we definitely have to come because we really love our seniors, and it's looking out for our seniors. So welcome to the Congo Hour.
Welcome,
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming down.
Yes.
So I guess before we get started on the program, the Wellness Checker program, can you let us know exactly what WHA is and their responsibilities?
So, yes, the Women and Housing Authority is responsible for managing the city's Section 8 and public housing programs.
Okay.
Along with that, we've activated a nonprofit where we're doing, we have some units that have been vacant at WHA for a really long time, and we moved that unit over to the nonprofit. Nonprofit is fundraised, and we have about 30 or so units that need to be renovated, and right now we're in the process of renovating about 15 of them. Okay. Hopefully by the end of next year, we'll have all of the units that have been vacant for a very long time completely renovated and back in inventory for affordable housing uses.
Okay, but you're a totally separate entity from the city of Wilmington.
Yes, well, we're
your own.
Yes. So the mayor has the right to appoint 7 members to our non-member board. Okay. The county executive appoints 1, and the governor appoints 1. So they're non-members of the board who are technically, I have 9 bosses, and but the city is the largest stakeholder in that. But we are considered a separate entity from the city of Wilmington.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you. I just wanted to clear that up, just so everybody kind of knows.
Yes. So don't blame y'all for it when we mess
we
up.
get that a lot, but we're all working together to make it right for the people.
Yes, sir.
You funny. So you mentioned Section 8 and public housing. What's the difference between the two?
So Section 8 is a program where we have landlords that are willing to rent to our voucher holders. Those are people that have Section 8 vouchers. They're called Section 8 vouchers, but they're all different kinds of vouchers. But the main one is called the Housing Choice Voucher Program. We have landlords that agree to rent to them. We pay a portion of the rent, and the low-income voucher holder will pay a portion of rent. Public housing is similar, except the units, the public housing units, WHA owns and manages the public housing units. So for public housing, any of the upkeep or renovations or things like that for public housing units, WHA is responsible for that work, and for Section 8 units, that their landlord that owns the unit is responsible for those things, and we're responsible for making sure that they're keeping up with the maintenance and things like that through inspections, annual inspections, and things like that.
Okay.
What percentage of the rent does WHA usually pay for Section 8? Does it vary, or is it?
It varies based on income. Okay. But I'm not certain. I think we max out at 30%, or I think that's what. I'm not certain. I have to get back to you about the specifics, but it varies based on income.
Okay. All right. And then for when they're you own WHA owns some senior high rises too.
Yes.
And what's the role of the WHA for those?
So it's kind of, so the senior high rises that WHA, we manage all of our senior high rises. So WHA manages them all, but we have a corporation, when you ever hear the tax credits?
Yes.
So whenever there's a tax credit deal, there's a investor and there's usually a property management company involved, and WHA retains the ability to reclaim these units after a certain amount of time, usually about 15 years.
Okay.
So Parkview, for instance, is a tax credit property that the tax credit expired. WHA, through a corporation that we created, reclaimed it back. So technically, Parkview is not public housing, but it's owned by WHA.
Okay.
And then the other, Crestview, Hurley, Compton, and Baynard are all public senior high-rises that WHA owns and manages.
Okay. All right, thank you.
That's good to know.
It is. And then, so if people have any questions who may live in those high rises or who may be on Section 8, what's a good contact number?
Well,
for
they all have, I don't want to give the wrong number. I think the number is 302-429-6700.
Okay.
But they all have it in whatever paperwork they have.
All right.
And if they have any questions, we routinely, we go out at least twice a year. I'm saying me, with my team, I go out twice a year to each high rise to talk to the residents individually, as a group.
Okay.
Let them know, what's new, what's going on, address some of the concerns they have, and then I'll give them my direct email or phone number at the office. If they ever have any problems, they can call me, and I'll meet. Nobody's ever called me and asked for an appointment that didn't get one.
Okay.
Wow, that's
All right.
awesome, because
All right.
normally an executive director may just push them on to someone else, but
Well, I might push them on to
But I'm
somebody
saying you
else,
let them
but I'm going
contact
to
you.
follow up to make
Yes.
sure, because I can't, I don't know what I'm doing.
right.
So
But I know that's
the folks know what the work is, but
Right.
once I'm made aware, now I can follow up and make sure that whatever their concern is gets addressed.
yeah.
Okay.
I love that.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Can we go into the program?
We can.
now?
Yeah. So
Okay.
Tell us about the Wellness Checker program.
So one thing I always tell my folks about is continuous improvement. That's our responsibility. I got that from one of my old bosses. We're never going to be perfect, but we can always strive to continuously improve. And one of the things that I recognize that we need to continuously improve on is how we basically provide services and support to some of the most vulnerable elderly folks that we work with.
Okay.
So we, unfortunately, over the last year or so, there's been instances where somebody in the high rise passed away, and because we didn't have any processes in place, we wouldn't know for 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
And that was that was troubling for me, for staff, for the residents, and for the person who passes away family.
Right.
So we had gotten several calls from, I'll tell you particularly who I know reached out specifically on this issue was Sinead Darby and Xanthia Oliver,
Okay.
both councilwomen. They reached out and said, well, what are you going to do about this? So there's a state program we were looking at, not a state, a county program we were looking at maybe linking up with. But then Xanthia Oliver got with the mayor's office. The council approved, I believe it was $10,000 for us to partner to create this wellness checker program. And what we're doing with the wellness checker program, initially we just started, we're gonna make phone calls and make sure that anybody that signs up, we'll call them, we'll check on them, we'll give them reminders about medication, things like that. Whatever they need, we'll call them. The goal is to call them at least once a day, even on the weekends. We were gonna figure out a way to make that work. Well, then I started talking to our IT folks and some of our IT support at WHA. Said, well, they have watches that'll do, if somebody falls, it'll give you an alert. Or watches that somebody can hit it and they'll call 911. Or watches that'll tell you when somebody's heart rate goes up or when it needs batteries or things like that. So we're working with T-Mobile. T-Mobile's going to be providing us with watches, and Parkview is our Parkview location is where we're going to pilot these. So we're going to have some combination of watches and tablets that we're going to have people there pilot to see how it works. And another layer of technology is robocalls. So say, for instance, the program becomes so popular that we don't have enough people to actually physically call everybody every day. We're gonna mix in robocalls to make sure that, hey, push 1 or if you're okay, push 2 if you need help, things like that. So not only are we using the resources for the people that we're hiring for this are going to be people that live in the high rises already. So that's going to be an advantage. But the reason, one of the things we're doing, we're calling them volunteers because we're not going to pay them a salary. The reason we're not paying them a salary is we don't want to affect their rent and have them, their rent go up, or maybe they are now ineligible to stay in the unit. So what we're going to do is we're going to give them a stipend. A stipend doesn't necessarily, up to a certain amount, doesn't count against their rent. And they're not going to be working 8 hours a day either. It'll be minimum hours. But we think using people who live there, using the robocalls and other kinds of technology, one, we think it'll be fun for some people because they can use the technology however they want. But two, it gives us a way to monitor and track better so we can be more supportive than what the original concept was just calling them on the phone. So we think that these extra steps that we're taking is going to we're trying to make our program, our wellness checker program, one of the best that exists. So maybe this will be a model for other places.
Okay. And when do you expect that program to launch?
Well, we expect
Parkview.
June is when it's going to launch. It might start with the robocalls. Then as we get the volunteers trained, then the regular calls will start. The issue with the technology, I expect the technology parts to be the actual, I'm saying robocalls technology, but the tablets and the watch component should be in place before the end of the summer. It's just, how technology is. You got to get it and you got to make it fit for whatever you want it, how you want to fit, then you got to give it out, then you got to track it. So that's the delay that'll be, probably that'll be involved with that. But pretty much it's been, we have, I think everything is moving in the right direction, no hiccups so far.
Okay.
Do you know approximately how many seniors live in Parkview?
Approximately 200.
Okay.
Yeah, so in Parkview, what our goal is in Parkview is say if all 200 people want to participate, want to have the technology and all that good stuff, we're going to make sure they have it.
Okay.
As we roll, because it's the pilot site. As we roll out to other sites, we're probably going to need to, hey, the first 50, you get this. And I don't know if 50 is a number, could be more, could be less. But, we have a couple thousand people in our various high rises, so you just got to
I think it's
smart
important that we find funding so that people who do want to be a part of it can be. I don't think that funding can be the preventative because I think it's an awesome program, it's an awesome idea. So we got to make sure that everybody who wants it can get
everybody
it.
who wants to participate can participate. Everybody who wants the technology, that's the part that you know.
But even that, I think that we as a city and as a county and a state, we got to make sure that we make that work.
Well,
I agree.
so just we here on this is so what we get from the city is $10,000. So the investment that I'm talking about for what we're doing, that was supposed to match our $10,000.
Okay.
I'm not asking anybody for any more money yet, but our investment is going to be considerably more than $10,000.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And I guess the technology and seniors might be a little intimidated by it. So what's our plan to address that?
We're going to have training for the seniors. And then one of the seniors actually, I don't want to put people's name out there, but one of the seniors at Parkview, we're working on some kind of technology training for that person to do anyway. So at Parkview, we'll probably engage that person to be like a hands-on, on-site person for seniors who run into problems. But the folks who are on site that are going to be making the calls, those folks are going to be trained to address any technology issues. And we may even also have the ability for there to be some kind of online or phone call support for people who run into problems. I mean, trust me, we recognize that that's going to be an issue. We're prepared to address it.
It might be a good idea to try to partner with maybe some youth programs. If they don't have anybody in their immediate family who can come and and help them with the technology part.
Oh.
Maybe get some younger children to be volunteers. That would be pretty.
Yeah, because they.
Yeah, they'll be on it.
Well, actually, we have we got a federal grant at WHA called the Youth Build Grant. So this is the only youth build grant that ever has been received in the state of Delaware. So,
Okay.
Okay. Just wanted to say
There we
that.
go. There we go.
So, but the reason I'm saying that is this could be an avenue for us to. The Youth Build program is designed to help young people between 16 and 24 who dropped out of high school get their GED, get a job, get a certification. So maybe if there's a need, we might be able to hire some of our participants to do this kind of work for us as the program develops. Also, if there's anybody in your audience who would have a child between 16 and 24, let me say a child, a young adult between 16 and 24 who is who hasn't graduated high school, even if they've graduated high school. If they'd like to work with us in the Youth Build program, they can contact the WHA offices and we'll get them engaged with the program.
Okay. All right. That sounds good.
I love this because, I mean, we came on for one thing and now we're learning about so many other things.
Y'all need it. We got all kinds of stuff going on. y'all can get me back here if y'all want. You know?
Most definitely will, especially when you start the program and maybe one of the
Youth
residents
Build
there,
or the wellness.
the wellness, and I mean all of them. Yeah, because that's what we're here for.
Youth Build already started. Though.
Okay.
So maybe, I mean, doing your programming for you, but maybe we could have some of our participants and some of our staff from Youth Build come and talk about the program here sometime in the future if you'd like. That would be great.
Definitely make that
And then have some of the seniors who are part of the program come on and talk about the other side of the program.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All
right. So you look like you might be a regular.
I'm good. Or one of the folks, somebody that really knows what's going on. Like I think if we have folks that come back, I think the folks that come back should be. I mean, I'm willing to come if you want, but the folks who are actually managing the program, because they can be more specific about like what's going on and maybe things that are working out, things that we need to improve on, things like that.
Right. They didn't give us like a good number. 'Cause I know you didn't even know the phone number. You know. So
Oh, no, he gave the number.
That's the right number. No, I get you. Listen, I don't. If I don't know it by heart, I was worried that I'm gonna give these people the wrong phone number. And give them a chicken joint or something.
You mentioned also they can email or call your office. So can you give us that information before we go?
Well, my office number is the same as the regular number. Okay. But my email address is rfitzgerald@whadelaware spelled out.org.
Okay. Just one more time, of course.
rfitzgerald@whadelaware.org.
Okay. All right. Really appreciate you, man. Yeah, looking forward to the next time you come through.
Whenever, let me know.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Waynna, so we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back with Brother Dwight Davis.
Government doesn't make a move without an agenda, some type of plan. The problem is we haven't been on the agenda. Sometimes we're overlooked. Sometimes our interests aren't the interest of those in power. I'm your host, Kerwin Gaines, on DETV's new show, The Agenda. We're going to do our best to ensure that you, Delawareans, are knowledgeable about what's going on in the Assembly. Federal government, local government, it doesn't matter. We're going to do our best to ensure that folks that make the agenda on a daily basis have to answer for it. Let them explain what they're doing. If it affects you, it's on the agenda.
Hello and welcome back to the show. We hope that you enjoyed our interview with Ray Fitzgerald, who is the executive director at WHA. He gave us some really useful information.
Yes.
A lot of exciting things going on down there, so hopefully we can bring him and his team back on, and some seniors and some of the younger youth, some of the youth who are going to be involved in his program. So it's going to be awesome. Looking forward to that. So now we have a young man who is with us
No stranger.
No stranger to anyone who is a part of the city of Wilmington,
The state of
the
Delaware.
state of Delaware,
Thank
East
you,
Coast. I have always enjoyed listening to him at council meetings. So before every council meeting, we always allow public comment. And when I was a district council person, Dwight would always come and just give his perspective on different issues that we were voting on that night, things that we should be paying attention to, things that a lot of times that fly below the radar. And he would say so much in those 3 minutes. I was just amazed
Yes.
on the knowledge that he has, and he's still doing it. And then even when we allow the public to comment before legislation, he would just come on and give his point of view, just to try to educate us and educate the viewing audience. And I have always been a huge admirer of Brother Dwight Davis. So he calls me every now and then. He talks to my dad a lot, but every once in a while he'll give me a phone call just to, pick my brain and kind of point me in the right direction on things that are city council related, that are city related. So I just wanted him to come down and just have a conversation with him. And it's funny because just before we started, I asked him what he wanted to talk about. He probably ran down like
20 things.
20 things that he wanted to talk about. So this is probably going to be like a series on Netflix where Brother Dwight Davis just keep coming back to give us the next episode.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So welcome to the show, man.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming.
I'm greatly honored to be here in the presence of greatness. Absolutely, and I'm saying that in all sincerity. With you, Waynna, who I've known for quite some time, and you, Trippi, I tell you, Mr. President, it does me great honor to use my 3 minutes, and sometimes I do go over a little bit.
Most of the time.
Yes, most of the time. But to be able to say, Mr. President, that's an honorable position.
Yeah.
And to the members of Wilmington City Council and to the public, one of the greatest honors that I can think that I've had so far is to be nominated and appointed to the Wilmington City Council Reparations Task Force. That's a great honor for me. Over the last several years, I've been the founder of what's called the African National Day of Assembly, Reparations and Freedom Coalition. And we've met over the last several years working on this whole idea of reparations, but not reparations in terms of what people think about everybody waiting for a big check. But in this case, we're talking about reparations in the city of Wilmington, not the county, not the state, not the nation or the world, but the city of Wilmington. And what I wanted to talk about is that we need to reclaim what already belongs to us. And one of the things that belongs to us is the Wilmington Port. The Wilmington Port belongs to the city of Wilmington. I know there's a perception that the Wilmington Port was purchased by the state, and that's just not accurate. In 1993, Wilmington City Council, in fact, did pass a resolution offering the Wilmington Port to the state, but the state never closed the deal. They never finalized the deal. And so since then, the state of Delaware has appointed what I call a quasi-government organization called the Diamond State Port Corporation, and their job is to manage the port. But what's interesting about that, and this information is available in the enabling legislation that creates the Diamond State Port Corporation, that the environmental liability has remained on the city of Wilmington's books ever since 1993. So that means that when the city of Wilmington goes to the bond market, the liability associated with the selling of these bonds is also a part of the liability that has to be taken into consideration. What's also is important to understand that in 2018, Governor John Carney signed an agreement with a United Arab Emirates organization called Gulf-Tainer. Now, they've since are in the process of getting rid of Gulf-Tainer and bringing on another port operator. What's problematic about that is that the initial contract was supposed to be a contract between the state of Delaware, Gulf-Tainer, and the city of Wilmington. It was supposed to be a 3-party contract, not a 2-party contract. And the fact that it is a 2-party contract makes it null and void. Now, 18-049 is an ordinance that I've been speaking about for the last several years and going back to 2018. In 2018, Councilman Sam Guy, he introduced an ordinance 18-049. And if this ordinance had passed, it would have been the city of Wilmington accepting responsibility for an expanded version of the Wilmington Port. Now it's called the Wilmington Port Expansion, which includes the DuPont Edgemoor. Now, in exchange for that ordinance, which never passed, never went to committee, that the state sent $2.6 million to the city. So my question now is, where's the money? You know, if the ordinance did not pass or did not go to committee, then we need to get some clarification. And when I say we, I'm speaking of me as a citizen, but I'm also speaking of me as a member of the Reparations Task Force. Because if the Reparations Task Force is going to make recommendations to City Council, we have to first start by knowing where the money is and how much money do we have. I cannot understand how anyone can vote to approve a budget and you not know how much money that you're in fact budgeting. And so this is a concern, and I'm looking for hopefully a conversation with the law department, because the law department in fact structured the ordinance. They wrote the ordinance.
Okay.
And we need to have a conversation with Mr. Sims, who is now the treasurer, to say, where is that $2.6 million and whether or not it even still exists.
So you see what I mean, Waynna?
Yeah, I know. I know. I already know. It
know.
amazes me how he remembers dates,
Numbers,
and
yeah, it's
everything.
Everything. He's just a walking
Because
book,
we're in
book of
trouble.
knowledge.
Yeah.
We are.
You
So
could be in. The city could be in bankruptcy right now.
how come the port is so important to the city of Wilmington?
Because number one is because the port belongs to the city of Wilmington.
But why?
It's important because you're looking at a major port of entry that a foreign government was given control of a major port of entry. You remember back in the days when Skinny Wilson was running the
always
port?
hear about
Yes.
And
Always hear
the
those
city,
stories.
the Wilmington port was known as the most efficient port that a ship could come in to port and unload, their cargo in record amount of time and with very little pilferage. And so this is important when we're looking, I don't know whether you paid attention to when we had the pandemic and we had to shut down the government. We shut the government down, and big container ships with huge containers were sitting out in the middle of the ocean without being able to move.
Right.
And this is driving up the cost of goods and services, and then the shelves in our supermarkets begin to go bare. So we need to be in control of our own port, and the revenues that's being generated through that port.
Right.
We pay very little attention to it. And you may not know, but the city of Wilmington has a representative that sits on the Diamond State Port Corporation's board of directors that most people don't even know that he's been on there ever since the existence of the contract. in 1993, and he doesn't even report to the city of Wilmington or to city council. So how did the governor sign a 50-year lease agreement that at the end of the 50-year period, the port would belong to the United Arab Emirates? How do you do that without the involvement of the original owners of the port? And that's the city of Wilmington. So let's bring it all down and make it minute. Let's start with the ordinance, 18-049. Let's sit down with the mayor, if he's willing to sit down, because the mayor has restructured your government. He's restructured the financial structure of the city government. And most people on city council that voted for it have no idea how it's structured, and the rise of your water rates is based upon that structure. The restructuring of the bond committee. It's 3 people on the bond committee. It's the mayor, it's the treasurer, and I think it's the finance director. But if you don't understand, government accounting, I'm not gonna sit here and say we need to have an audit. But I believe that there was a conversation about a forensic audit that went without notice. But we need not necessarily an audit at this particular time, but what we do need to do is sit down, Mr. President, with the auditor. We need to sit down with the treasurer. We need to sit down with the law department who structured up, and we need to ask, where's the money? And you'll find that once you find out where that money is, it will open up the doors of opportunity to find out where other monies are, and then we won't have to raise the water rates and have people with 96-hour cutoff notices. I am so proud of Councilwoman Shanae Darby because she put the pressure where it needed to be with respect to that issue, but she also put pressure with respect to the Freedom of Information Act. I come to City Council ever since I've been on the Reparations Task Force. I come to council, I use my 3 minutes because the public is supposed to know.
Right.
Yeah.
We were voted into office, and Jim Baker rewrote the resolution. And as I said in the last council meeting, how do you expect us to do our job without a line item budget? We can't even order. You know how city council, y'all go back in that room, y'all eat sandwiches and all that.
Is that what y'all do back there?
Yeah, that's what they doing. But we can't. We don't even have a budget, and our meetings are like going to be in like 5 in the evening. We don't even have a budget to get sandwiches. And so if we wanted to bring in subject matter experts, which is required in the resolution says, you shall not be able to sit on this task force, not unless you are a subject matter expert. I had to submit my resume, as evidence of me being a subject matter expert. I'm not so sure about everybody else, but I just think that it's important for programs like the Congo Hour to allow this line of conversation. And we're gonna follow it up, hopefully, if God is willing.
We can do
tomorrow.
this week if you can.
No, I can do it tomorrow at City Council with my 3 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm referring to coming back because you had more things that you wanted to discuss.
So I pretty much have said what I think needs to be said for right now.
And like you said, Dwight, we definitely have to have that follow-up meeting with that initial meeting with the law office.
That's right.
And
I'd like to be invited.
Oh yeah, you have to be there. Yeah, you gotta be there. If not, they're gonna try to pull the wool over.
That's right.
over our heads. So you have to be. You're definitely a part of that meeting.
That's right.
And then we can come back and, like you said, report to our audience. We can talk about it at our city council meeting, just so everyone is in the know about what's going on.
Yes, sir.
Thank
you so much, Trippi. And Waynna, thank you so very much.
Thank you. I really.
I think I did that in less than 10 minutes.
I think so too. You did.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't communicate with Waynna when you were coming on, and she had already booked Mr. Fitzgerald. So I thought that you and I and Wayne were going to be able to have this whole hour to talk. So that's really my fault that you only have 10 or 15 minutes. But we definitely want you to come back as often as you want. And we're going to give you more time so that you can help us understand, you can help our viewing audience to understand.
Yes.
That's what I do.
What's going on in the city and what we really need to be paying attention to.
Thank you so much.
And I need to learn how to pick, like he knew the ordinance, he knew the line, he knew. It's like, wow.
Well, that's what we do. I mean, I want to say before closing, congratulations to all the graduates of Delaware State University and the alumni, including Mr. Congo, because
including Mr. Davis.
I'm also a graduate
that's right.
of Delaware State University, and this is my 50th year.
Wow.
Graduating after the riots of 1968, I was accepted and I matriculated at Delaware State University.
That's right.
That was one of the greatest things that changed the course of my life. So I just want to say, this is what we do. And I got my daughter.
And you do it
I got my daughter
Yes,
here.
you do.
Hey, look, and we bought her school. My daughter's a graduate of Wesley.
She went to Wesley.
So now she's a Hornet.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
by default, right?
Yeah, by default she's a Hornet. And that marching band is awesome anyway. The Quiet Storm.
Yes, sir.
So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks a lot, Brother Dwight. So we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back with Mariah's moment, and then we'll have our funeral announcements and some community news.
All right.
All right. Thank y'all.
All right. Hey,
thank
Brother
you.
Dwight, if anybody wants to reach out to you, just to kind of run some things by you, get some information from
absolutely.
you, how can they contact
my
you?
email is D, just the letter D, LAMOTTE DAVIS @gmail.com. My telephone number is 1302-654-1993.
Okay.
I don't have a voicemail for my telephone, but if you email it, I got my my right arm and left leg. She'll make sure that I get the message, and I'm willing to sit down. During the day, I'm at the Muslim Center of Wilmington, 2102 Northeast Boulevard. That's where I get to call Trippi at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
But see, that's only after I done talked to Mr. Congo at 5:30 in the morning.
Yes.
All right, man. We really
Thank you,
appreciate
man.
you. All right. We're going to
Okay.
take a quick break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the show. I know that you have enjoyed both of our interviews. They were very informative. And then Brother Dwight Davis is just on another level when it comes to involvement and knowledge around city happenings. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to having, both of them back.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the part 2 of the series of Brother Dwight Davis and Ray Fitzgerald from WHA. So right now we have, I don't know if it's anybody's favorite part of the show yet, but it's definitely Mariah's favorite part of the show because it's her moment. So she is back after a 2 or 3 week hiatus. Welcome back to the show with Mariah's moment.
Hi, Mariah.
Hello.
What's up? How's everything? Everything's all right? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So tell us what's been going on in your life over the last few weeks. You haven't been here with us. What's been going on with school and your family and your
We
friends?
don't want to talk about school.
We don't want to talk about school? Well, school's almost out. You only have like a...
Wait, speaking of school,
Yes.
did you ever talk to your teacher about the assignment that your dad gave
Still
you?
talking about that.
Yes, I'm going to talk about it. Did you?
That was like 3 weeks ago.
Right, you haven't
So you-
been here. So what happened with that?
Technically, I did ask him.
You asked, and what happened? No, you asked the first time. Did you come back a second time?
No.
She didn't do the assignment.
I don't even remember the assignment. So maybe I'm to blame too. What was it? What were we talking about?
Nothing. We don't have to talk about that.
Okay, if you don't want to talk
That's-
about it, we'll talk about something else.
I don't even remember. So
I'll remind you later.
give us an update with school.
Today at Girls on the Run, we did not a big sale, but like a teacher appreciation thing.
Okay.
What's Girls on the Run?
Girls on the Run.
What is it?
It's literally girls running.
Oh, okay. How many?
9 third graders,
Okay.
3 fourth graders.
Speak up a little bit.
Like, yeah.
And how often do you participate in Girls on the Run?
Actually participate.
Yeah. How often are you supposed to participate?
Oh.
How often do you meet?
Mondays and Wednesdays.
And Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And
But-
so you guys just go on a track, or you running through like on the street
well,
or in the...
at the beginning of the year, we just ran around the school.
Okay.
Now we run around the track.
Okay. How long do you usually run for Girls on the Run?
Well, not on Thursdays. Wednesdays, like maybe 45 minutes, and then on Mondays, 30 minutes.
Okay.
That's good.
Oh, it is. It is. So
Not for me.
shout out to Girls on the Run. Who's your favorite
Yes.
running partner?
Like in Girls on the Run?
Yes.
Caroline.
Caroline? Okay. All right. So you guys usually try to keep up with each other?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But she's way faster than me.
Is she? All right.
Yeah.
For now.
Forever.
Forever. I'm not a runner either. I couldn't stand. When I was in high school, we had to take 2 sports. So, Sanford was so small. So they made us take 2 sports.
So you did
And
basketball.
One of them was basketball, but then the coach, Gil Jackson, made all the people who were playing basketball take cross country to get in shape for basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, that was the worst. I could not stand. I still don't like running. It's just boring, and it's I like running maybe like hills or sprints, but just running long distance, I don't like it at all. So definitely, kudos to you, Ryan, and everyone who participates in Girls on the Run.
You walk those marathon thingies.
What marathon thingies?
Remember 2 years ago, we had those Congo shirts on.
Oh yes, that was something that we did with City Council. We walked around it was a fundraiser. I forgot.
That's close enough.
I don't remember what organization that was for. We walked around Brandywine Park.
Oh,
and all the
okay.
kids came out. In City Council, we had a table set up and just had the kids come out and participate in the walk.
Okay.
That's what that was.
She remembered that.
Yeah. So what else is going on? And you ran down a whole list of things you want to talk about in the car. So what else was it? Now you said something about Spellman and Max and
Max isn't going to mortuary school for like another year, right?
I don't know. That's what we gotta. I know we keep on having Mariah on. We got to bring all the rest of
I
the
was
M's
just
on.
texting Morgan. She said, "Where are you at?" I said, "About to get on TV." She said, "I wanted to come." I said, "So come." She said, "Well, traffic was gonna be too bad." I said, good.
Of course. She and I think we talked about this before, but she and Morgan, they just have the same, they have the exact personality, and they just battle with each other constantly. But they really are.
You really wanted her to be here.
She did. She
I know
did.
she did.
Yeah, she
Yes,
did.
You
I'm getting a sweatshirt out of it. And
Right.
she keeps saying that she's not going to give it to
From
me, but
Spelman?
I know she's going to give it to me.
From Spelman? Okay, yeah, we gotta have Morgan down because she's about to, but she just graduated last week, and now she's gonna be doing some things this summer, working, and then going on that trip with Dr. Joan Coker that we talked
They didn't
about.
need any chaperones.
Hey, I was
then-
with her this morning.
Were you?
Yeah,
Who?
Joan.
Joan. Give a shout out to Joan.
Oh, she brought me $4 today, which I needed that because I forgot to pack my lunch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we definitely gotta give her a shout out.
Yeah.
So are you gonna go with us when we go move Morgan in to Spelman?
Didn't I go with Max too?
You did.
Yeah.
When he was at Bloomsburg, we went up there to visit him. I don't know if you were there for the moving day. I can't remember. I don't think so.
I was there for like one. No, I think I was there. I was there for one of them.
Yeah, I don't think it was moving day. And then we went to Del State. We went down to visit. I don't think we were
Yeah,
there
I
for
think
like,
it was the visit.
Yeah,
But
so we gotta
Morgan's
make sure that
graduation is tomorrow.
Well, actually, see, this show is pre-recorded.
So it already took place.
Yeah, so the people are going to see this show on Sunday. So.
Oh,
So
You got it.
So she already graduated. It was an awesome graduation. Wasn't it?
Congratulations.
yeah, and I yelled, "That's my sister."
Oh, see.
That's what I
Pretty
yelled.
quickly.
Yes, you did.
So
Tag, when she graduates? When?
she graduated
I mean, she graduated.
last Thursday. Last Thursday.
Oh, and Anaya graduates tomorrow.
Okay. On Monday.
Tomorrow.
Let's stop with the past stuff.
Yeah, I know.
It's making my
It does
brains
get
hurt.
confusing, doesn't it?
My brains hurt.
So what are you gonna do for the summer?
Sleep.
What else? When you wake up, what are you gonna do?
Well, when I'm not going to camp, I'm gonna call Alexander and Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're gonna play Roblox. Then we're gonna get on each other's nerves. Then we're gonna hang up. Then an hour later, we're gonna call back.
That's the routine?
Yeah.
What about, I thought you said you were gonna come over to the office and work at the front desk for a little bit. You change your mind?
Yeah.
We're gonna be there. So you guys can kind of double team and help each other out at the front desk.
The
Sound like a
last
plan?
time I went to the office with her, I wouldn't get out the car, so she was forced to take me.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, we gotta see how we can work in some. Cause you like spending money, so we have to earn some money too. So and part of that is working.
She can put files together.
Yeah, we'll figure out something for her to do. Yeah,
Last time I put files together,
Yeah, she did.
no
Few
one
weeks ago.
paid me.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Nobody like you. So you haven't really eaten since then. You haven't like drank anything. You haven't like
Slept in
gotten-
a bed.
Yeah, gotten any rides anywhere? Yeah, exactly.
No one paid me in cash.
Oh, okay. We paid you in other ways.
Yeah,
So
that's how-
In-kind gifts.
Yeah, that's called earning your keep. But I will have to figure out. I think Miss Tracy was helping you.
Yeah.
You were helping Miss Tracy at the office when you were doing some filing for her. But all right. So you have anything else you want to talk about? Or are you okay?
Oh, my gymnastics group.
Oh, that's right. All right.
Ah,
So I'm better at gymnastics than him because he can't do a back bend. The last time he tried, he just went up and fell right back down. It was really funny. Morgan got it on recordings. And then when I did a front walkover, he just had stuff on his back. So that was really
we'll have to
funny.
get that video to play.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get a video of you actually doing it. Finally.
We might have to get a video of you, of me punching you. That's going to be the best video.
Oh my goodness. See what I gotta deal with.
See what I have to deal with.
You want to give any shout outs to anybody who's watching? You have to make sure that you tell your friends and everyone that you're going to be on TV too.
The last time I told Mary, it was like a lot of weeks ago. She texted me when it was Pop-Pop's thing, and she said, "Whoa, when is he gonna stop talking?" Because he was talking for like 20 minutes, and it was like really funny. Because then I called her, and she said, "Are you even on this?"
So you have to tell people to start watching around 8:30.
Me and Mom, well, I was at Jones one night and, never mind. Let's just talk about my gymnastics.
Okay.
So, me and some of my other friends, we were working on it today, and more of them asked for days off, and we're gonna compete in on Thursday next week. So Gozy was so mad, but then she did an aerial, and then I did a back walkover. Then we went down, and then she got mad at the boys for some reason. Started yelling at Ryder for picking his boogers. And yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for coming
Yeah, thank you so much.
on.
We'll see you next year. Okay. So next time you come down, we'll have to have you on mic so you can show us some of these moves you're talking about, like the aerial and
I can't do an aerial.
some of the things you were
gonna
talking about that you
fracture my
can't do. We're
body.
gonna have you do them before you get mic'd up. Okay? Deal?
No deal.
Deal. All right. So
Let's
make
agree
sure
to
you are tuned
disagree.
in within the next couple of weeks when Mariah is back on. She's gonna give us some of her. She's gonna show us some of her gymnastic moves.
I never agreed to this.
Okay, but you will. I have faith in you. All right. Well, thank you. Time is almost
I never agreed to that.
up, so we have to kind of wrap the show up. Okay.
I got this part.
Okay.
What do I say?
So, thank you so much for tuning in. If you ever want to be a part of the Congo Hour, you can reach out to Waynna. You can reach out to us on Facebook or YouTube.
We don't have
if you-
YouTube yet.
We don't?
No, we're gonna make it happen. We
My
have
friends
Facebook,
subscribe to your YouTube thing.
but you can call me directly at 302-521-7325.
Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. And God willing, we will see you next Sunday. Have a great week. Want to say bye to everybody?
Bye, everybody.
All right. Thanks again. Did you say bye, Wayne?
Bye. I'm sorry.
She just threw everybody off.